Hello, everyone, and welcome back to English Speaking Corner. I am Sarah, and I am so happy to have you here with us in our quiet study space. Today, we are going to tackle one of the biggest fears that English learners have. It is not about grammar, and it is not about vocabulary lists. It is about that moment when the conversation stops.
And I am Mark. Hello, everyone. It is great to be here. Sarah, I know exactly what you are talking about. You learn how to say hello, you learn how to introduce yourself, but then the other person stops talking and you stop talking, and there is this terrible, awkward silence. You start to panic. You think, what do I say next? My mind is empty.
Exactly, Mark. That silence is what we want to fix today. Many of our listeners watch videos to learn basic phrases. They know how to answer a question, but a conversation is not just answering questions. It is about connecting. Today, we are going to teach you a simple, powerful rhythm to make sure you never run out of things to say. We call it the answer, add, ask formula.
I love this formula. It changed the way I thought about speaking when I was learning languages. It stops you from being a robot and helps you become a real person in the conversation. By the end of this episode, you will be able to turn a 10-second exchange into a 2-minute conversation, completely stress-free. So find a comfortable place, put on your headphones, and let's begin.
Mark, before we explain the formula, let's demonstrate the problem. I want you to act like a student who only knows the basics. I am going to ask you a question and you just answer it. Are you ready?
I am ready. Ask me anything.
Okay, Mark, how was your weekend?
It was good.
Okay, did you do anything special?
Yes,
What did you do?
I went to the park.
Was it nice?
Yes,
Okay, let's stop there. Everyone listening, how did that feel? It felt painful, right? It felt like pulling teeth. I was doing all the work. I had to think of every new question, and Mark just gave me the minimum information. It did not feel like a conversation. It felt like an interrogation at a police station.
I agree. I felt awkward too. I was waiting for you to lead the conversation. This is the mistake most learners make. They think their job is just to answer the question correctly. They think if I say the grammar right, I have succeeded. But in a social situation, if you only answer the question, you kill the conversation. You put up a wall.
That is a great way to describe it. A wall. Imagine a game of tennis. If I hit the ball to you and you catch it and put it in your pocket, the game is over. You have to hit it back. So let's look at the solution. The solution is the answer, add, ask formula. It has 3 simple steps that you can use for almost any topic.
Step 1 is answer. This is the easy part. You answer the question directly. Step 2 is add. You add one small detail, a feeling, or a piece of extra information. This is the bridge. And step 3 is ask. You ask a question back to the other person. You pass the ball back. Answer, add, ask.
It sounds simple, but it requires practice to make it a habit. Let's break it down deeply before we practice with dialogues. Let's talk about the first part, the answer. Mark, when someone asks you a question, do not just use one word. Do not just say yes or no or good. Try to use a full sentence.
Right. So if you ask me, do you like coffee? I shouldn't just say yes. I should say, yes, I really like coffee. It takes up more space. It gives you a moment to think. It sounds more polite. It is a soft landing into the conversation.
Exactly. Now, the second part is the magic part, the add. This is where you show your personality. When you add a detail, you are giving the other person a hook. You are giving them something to catch on to. Mark, what kind of details can we add?
You can add a lot of things. You can add a feeling. For example, yes, I like coffee. It makes me feel awake. Or you can add a frequency. Yes, I drink it every morning. You can add a past event. Yes, I had a great cup yesterday. Or you can add an opinion. Yes, but only if it has milk. You just need one small extra sentence.
That is perfect. You do not need a long story, just one sentence. And finally, the third step, Ask. This is how you keep the flow going. You must end your turn by giving the turn back to the other person. The simplest way to do this is to say, "What about you?" or "How about you?" But you can also ask specific questions.
So, let's try our bad dialogue again, but this time I will use the answer, add, ask formula.
Okay, Mark, let's try it. How was your weekend?
It was great, thanks. I actually went to that new park downtown with my dog. Have you been there yet?
Wow, what a difference. Do you see what happened? Mark answered. He said it was great. Then he added a detail. He went to the new park with his dog. That gives me so much information. I can talk about the park or I can talk about the dog. And then he asked me a question. Have you been there yet? Now I have to speak. The pressure is off him and the pressure is on me. It feels much more relaxed. I don't have to worry about what to say next because I already passed the ball back to you.
Exactly. So listeners, we are going to practice this in 3 different scenarios today. We will do a social scenario, a scenario with a stranger, and a work scenario. We will speak slowly, we want you to listen, and then in the pauses, we want you to shadow us. That means repeat exactly what we say, focusing on the rhythm and the intonation.
Let's start with scenario 1, a social situation. Imagine you are talking to a friend or a colleague during a break. The topic is plans. I will start. Listen to the dialogue first. So, Mark, do you have any plans for the summer?
Yes, I do. I'm thinking about going to Italy for a week. I've always wanted to try real Italian pizza. Do you have any travel plans coming up?
That is a perfect example. Let's break it down for our listeners. First, the answer. Yes, I do. Simple, direct. Then the add. Mark, what did you add?
I added my specific plan and my motivation. I said, I'm thinking about going to Italy for a week. And then I added a little dream of mine. I've always wanted to try real Italian pizza.
That little detail about the pizza makes you sound interesting. It makes me want to ask you, oh, what is your favorite topping? It opens doors. And finally, the ask. Do you have any travel plans coming up? Now, let's practice this. Listeners, repeat after Mark. We will break it into small pieces. Speak out loud.
Yes, I do.
I'm thinking about going to Italy for a week.
I've always wanted to try real Italian pizza.
Do you have any travel plans coming up? Excellent. Now, let's try another variation of this social scenario. Sometimes the answer is negative. Maybe you don't have plans. This is where people usually kill the conversation. They just say, "No, I don't." And then silence. Mark, how do we use the formula if the answer is no?
That is a great question. You can still add detail even if the answer is no. You can add what you are going to do instead or how you feel about it. For example, if you ask me about my summer plans, I can say, "No, I don't have any big trips planned. I'm just going to stay home and relax because I've been working so hard lately." What about you? Are you going anywhere?
I love that. You turned a boring no into a conversation about relaxing and working hard. Let's practice that negative response. Listeners, repeat after Mark.
No, I don't have any big trips planned
I'm just going to stay home and relax.
because I've been working so hard lately. What about you? Are you going anywhere?
Good job. Remember, the goal is not to be perfect. The goal is to be fluid. If you make a grammar mistake in the add section, it does not matter. The ask section will save you because it moves the conversation forward. Now, let's move to scenario 2, talking to a stranger. This can be very scary. Maybe you are at a coffee shop or waiting for a bus or at a party where you don't know anyone. You want to be polite, but you don't want to be annoying.
In this situation, the add part of the formula is usually an observation about the environment. You talk about something you can both see or hear. It is safe ground.
Right. Let's imagine we are at a coffee shop. I am standing in line and Mark is standing behind me. I turn around and say, "It is really busy in here today, isn't it?"
Yeah, it is. I think everyone had the same idea to get coffee this morning. Do you come here often?
Okay, let's analyze that. The answer was yes, it is. He agreed with me. The ad was his theory. I think everyone had the same idea. It is a little joke. It built a connection. And the ask was, do you come here often? This is a classic conversation starter. Let's practice this one. Listeners, imagine you are looking around a busy cafe. Speak with a friendly, casual tone. Repeat after me.
Yeah, it is.
I think everyone had the same idea this morning. Do you come here often? Let's try another one with a stranger. Imagine you are at a conference or a meeting and you are sitting next to someone before it starts. The question is this seat taken?
No, it isn't. Please, go ahead. It's nice to finally sit down, isn't it? My name is Mark, by the way.
That was smooth. The answer was no, it isn't. The ad was an invitation. Please go ahead. And a feeling, it's nice to finally sit down. And the ask was actually an introduction. He didn't ask a question with a question mark, but saying, my name is Mark, invites me to say my name. It functions like a question.
Yes, sometimes the ask can be an introduction. It demands a response. Let's practice this polite exchange. Listeners, repeat after me.
No, it isn't. Please go ahead.
It's nice to finally sit down.
My name is Mark, by the way.
Very good. If you are enjoying this practice and you want to feel more confident in your daily life, please consider subscribing to English Speaking Corner. We create these lessons to be your companion, to help you practice when you are alone so you are ready when you are with people. When you subscribe, it helps us make more of these dialogues for you.
Now, let's move to scenario 3, the workplace. This is where many of our listeners feel the most pressure. You are speaking to a boss or a colleague from another country. You want to sound professional, you don't want to waste time, but you also don't want to sound rude. In business, the answer, add, ask formula shows competence. It shows you are on top of your work. The add is usually a status update or a reason. The ask is usually clarifying the next steps. Let's imagine a Monday morning meeting. The boss asks, Mark, did you finish the report? Yes, I did. I emailed it to everyone this morning so you can review it before the presentation. Do you have any questions about the data? That is a strong professional response. If Mark just said yes, he might sound dismissive, or the boss might worry about where the report is. By adding, I emailed it this morning, he confirms the action. By asking, do you have any questions, he shows he is ready to discuss it. Let's try a variation where there is a problem. Often in business, we have to deliver bad news. We can't do something or something is late. The formula saves you here, too. Okay, Mark, can you come to the meeting at 2 p.m. today? I'm afraid I can't. I have a call with a client at that time that I really cannot miss. Could we move the meeting to 3 p.m. instead? That is excellent. Listeners, did you hear how polite that was? The answer was, I'm afraid I can't. The add was the reason. I have a call with a client. This is important. Always give a reason in business if you say no. And the ask was a solution. Could we move it to 3 p.m.? You are solving the problem, not just causing it. Let's practice this professional refusal. It is a very useful skill. Listeners, repeat after Mark. Use a polite, professional voice. I'm afraid I can't. I have a call with a client at that time. Could we move the meeting to 3 p.m. instead? Great practice. Now, before we move to our final simulation, I want to talk about one small secret to making this formula easier. It is called linking words. Yes, linking words are the glue. They connect the answer to the add. In our examples, we used words like because, actually, by the way. These words buy you thinking time. Exactly. If someone asks you, do you like sports? You can say, no, actually, I prefer reading. The word actually softens the no. Or, yes, to be honest, I am a huge football fan. So don't be afraid to use these little fillers. Well, actually, to be honest, you know, they make you sound more like a native speaker and less like a textbook. Okay, are you ready for the final challenge? We are going to do a simulator. This is where you test yourself. We are going to ask you a question. Then there will be a silence. In that silence, I want you to use the answer, add, ask formula. You don't have to be perfect. You can lie if you want to. It doesn't have to be true. It just has to be English. Just imagine you are talking to a friend. Make sure you answer, add a detail, and ask us a question back. Are you ready? Here is the first question. Imagine we are friends meeting for coffee. Question 1. Hey, long time no see. You look great. Have you changed your hair? Okay, good. Did you manage to do all 3 steps? A possible response could be, yes, I did. I got it cut last week because it was getting too long. Do you like it? Let's try another one. This is a topic everyone talks about, the weather. Imagine we are waiting for an elevator. Question 2. Wow, it is really cold outside today, isn't it? How did you do? You could say, yes, it is freezing. I think I need to buy a warmer coat. Is it supposed to snow later? See? Simple steps. Let's do one more. Let's do a job interview question. This is a high-pressure situation. Question 3. So, tell me, do you enjoy working in a team? That was a hard one. A great response would be, yes, I really do. I find that I learn a lot more when I collaborate with other people. How large is the team I would be working with? If you did that, congratulations. You just controlled a job interview. You answered, you showed your value, and you asked a smart question about the company. This formula works everywhere. It works on dates, it works with your family, it works at the immigration desk at the airport. Answer, add, ask. It works because it follows the basic rule of human psychology. People like to talk, but they need permission. When you use this formula, you are constantly giving the other person permission to speak again. You are making it easy for them. And when you make conversation easy for people, they like you. They think you are good at English. That is the secret. Being good at English is often just being good at conversation. You don't need C2 level vocabulary to be a great conversationalist. You just need to keep the ball moving over the net. We hope you feel more prepared for your next conversation. Here is your mission for today. The next time someone sends you a text message or asks you a question in real life, even if it is in your native language, I want you to use the formula. Do not send a one-word text. Answer it, add a detail, and ask a question back. See what happens. See how much longer the conversation lasts. See how much more connected you feel. And remember, every time you speak, you are building confidence. It does not happen overnight, but it happens one interaction at a time. Thank you so much for studying with us today in the English Speaking Corner. If you found this lesson helpful, please give it a like and make sure you are subscribed so you don't miss our next session. We have many more calm, practical lessons coming for you. Keep practicing, keep listening, and don't be afraid of the silence. You have the tools to fill it now. Great work today, everyone. See you in the next video. Bye for now.